What's up, everybody? It's your girl Jessie Thorne, and I'm back with another banger. This video is coming from the one and the only goat of mystery, Slapped Ham. Okay, now I've seen quite a few of his videos, mostly through other reaction videos. And today will be my first time going on his channel and doing a reaction video myself. So, before we get into this reaction video, and I will be doing some snacking, and not really snacking, I'm gonna be eating a bowl of cereal here. Excuse me. If you want to know exactly what I'm eating Life's original cereal with Craisin dried cranberries, strawberry flavored. There's no sugar added to this. The only sugar that's in there is the berries, which have one pouch is 24 grams of sugar and 21 grams of added sugar. So is the sugar. I didn't add any sugar on top of these, so we're good. Anyways, I have no idea what to expect out of this video. It is called These Eerie Mysteries Are Creeping Viewers Out. Now, if you guys have watched any of my introductions to the videos, you should already know by now, I do not, and I repeat, I do not pre-react. Everything I do reacting to these videos is natural. So, with that being said, let's get slapped.
How you doing? I'm Callan and this is Slapped Ham. Today we're looking at some eerie and mysterious events that remain unsolved. So hit that subscribe button and get ready for more creepy content. It's like...
Yes. Am I subscribed? I am now.
Yes. In 1561, something strange happened in the skies over Germany that has left a lot of historians mystified. This event was a mass sighting of unidentified flying objects over what is present-day Nuremberg. A part of the Holy Roman Empire back when the sighting took place, Nuremberg remains on the radar of UFO enthusiasts centuries later. It was daybreak on April 14. Early risers throughout the city were witnesses to terrifying visions over the sun. First, it took the form of blood-red coloured arcs peppered with black spheres blotting out the sun. What came next was said to be worse. A series of blood-red crosses appeared beside the black globes. The images in the sky all seemed to battle amongst themselves in a torturous upheaval as the people of the city looked on. Finally, the objects all appeared to burn out from exhaustion before falling in the sky with puffs of smoke. Naturally, the people of Nuremberg applied a Christian interpretation to the incident. Many saw the blood-red crosses mixed in with a scene of turmoil and destruction as a call to repentance. However, many other interpretations have been floated around since. Many people believe the globe-like balls mixed with fiery blood-red puffs of smoke were cannons from a nearby military exercise. Others believe that the people of the city were simply applying their overzealous religious beliefs to a particularly red sunrise. Some took it as a sign of an impending apocalypse. Curiously, 5 years later in Basel, Switzerland, another very similar sighting took place. Over the course of 3 days, on the 27th, 28th of July and again on the 7th of August, mysterious black shapes were spotted in the sky. First, it was reported that the sun lost its luster before blood-red tears seemed to form in the sky. On the 7th of August, the black floating balls appeared as though they were embroiled in battle. Some of the balls turned a fiery red colour before extinguishing. Again, through a modern lens, this event can be interpreted a number of ways. The most common explanation is that overly religious witnesses expounded the sighting of a solar eclipse as apocalyptic. During the 16th century, throughout Europe, there was significant conflict between Catholic and Protestant factions during Reformation. It's possible villagers witnessed military conflict without realising what was happening. Still, there's no concrete evidence that explains what witnesses saw in both Switzerland and Germany all those years ago. Strange flying balls in the sky that appeared to be engrossed in battle certainly does pique one's interest, but ultimately these incidents still remain a complete mystery to this day. Broadcasting at a frequency of 4,625.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
We were still at work, and we started getting these notifications from Rick. 2 guys trying to break in. I hit this.
Now, what do you guys think that could have been? Do you guys think aliens are real? I have no idea. What that could have been. Back in those times, though?
Kilohertz, an eerie radio station of unknown origin, sends a mysterious code out into the airwaves. UVB-76 is a radio station in Russia that no one claims to run. It emits a mysterious buzzing at 25 tones per minute, around the clock, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The exact start date of the station is unknown, but many speculate that it began sometime in the early 1970s. Day after day, it sends cloaked messages intended for an audience that hides in the shadows. The station does occasionally break through with a series of nonsensical words uttered in Russian. In this video from Mr. Dr. Smith Jr., you can sample the bizarre and mysterious buzzing sound that is emitted from the so-called ghost station. People from all around the world tune in to try and make sense of the station. The code behind the mysterious messages it's sending, and anticipate what type of potential doom the mysterious messages could be conjuring up. Is it a communication method for spies, a calling card for a secret society, a hoax, or a dead man's switch for nuclear retaliation? Nobody's certain. To deepen the mystery, in September 2010, the broadcast broke its monotonous tone to play a short excerpt from Tchaikovsky's Swan Lake. Take a listen. The theories behind why this station exists are intriguing. A popular one is that the channel's used for Russian military communications. Under this theory, the buzzing sound is merely a placeholder until the channel's needed for more important communications. Another theory that's been thrown around is that the tower that emits the buzzing sound is connected to Russia's missile system. If the signal is interrupted as a result of a nuclear attack, an automatic nuclear retaliation will be triggered. But ultimately, the true nature of this radio broadcast is still unknown. However, when you're trying to sleep tonight, think about this. It's possible that an antique radio station built in the 1970s somewhere in Russia could malfunction and trigger a nuclear war at any given second. Sweet dreams.
Yeah. Thanks.
As the world celebrated the close of 2019, a call went out to the US Coast Guard from Bahamian authorities. A 29-foot Mako Cuddy cabin vessel carrying 20 people on holiday had disappeared while bobbing along in the waves over the Bermuda Triangle on its way back to Lake Worth from Bimini. Rescuers searched an area covering 17,000 square miles for days without turning up any evidence that a boat had been in the area at all. Significant resources were used during the search for the boat, including HC-144 Ocean Sentry aircrew from Miami and a C-130 Hercules aircrew from Clearwater. The US Air Force, Coast Guard, as well as the Royal Bahamas Defense Force and the Bahamas Air Sea Rescue Association and Patrick Air Force Base units were deployed in the search. Despite such a significant search and rescue contingent, no evidence was found on the whereabouts of the boat. Ultimately, on the Friday morning, after more than 84 hours, the search was called off. The fate of all 20 people on the vessel is now one more mystery that's been swallowed up by the Bermuda Triangle.
I thought he was
The
going to
infamous
say.
history of the Bermuda Triangle, or the
I thought
devil.
he was going to say that the boat just appeared out of nowhere. I don't know. All of these disappearances and everything of that sort that they keep claiming as happening, but yet there are people still venturing off around the Bermuda Triangle. Help me understand. Why would you go there if you know of how many people vanish pretty much in thin air dealing with the Bermuda Triangle? I don't get it. But anyways, continuing on.
Triangle, as it's sometimes referred to, began in the early 1950s, when several journalists reported strange disappearances in the area. The first noteworthy disappearance happened 5 years earlier on December 5th, 1945. Flight 19 consisted of 5 TBM Avenger bombers participating in an overwater navigation training exercise. All 14 airmen participating in the training disappeared without a trace. To make the event even more bizarre, a 13-man crew was dispatched from Naval Air Station Banana River to search for the missing Flight 19. The search party also mysteriously disappeared while looking for the original missing crew. An eerie message from the doomed Flight 19 was later released to the public. Over the radio, the flight leader was heard saying, "We're entering white water, nothing seems right. We don't know where we are, the water is green, no white." This was followed by radio silence.
Wow, that's weird.
Over the years, more than 30 disappearances have occurred in this notorious stretch of water. Numerous explanations have been put forth.
Excuse me.
Trying to explain the bizarre occurrences. Everything from compass variations and dangerous currents to wild weather and human error have been suggested. It should be noted that the official word from the US Navy and US Coast Guard is that no supernatural activity is responsible for causing disasters and disappearances in the Bermuda Triangle.
So they say.
you're doing in a place like this. Yeah, it's so much better now.
Did Dr Mary Neal really go to heaven? An orthopedic spine surgeon, Neal certainly seems believable as a woman of science and logic. However, her claims require faith in the unknown if they are to be believed. The good doctor was kayaking while on holiday in Chile in 1999 when her kayak pinned her at the bottom of a waterfall for 12 full minutes.
Ooh.
When medical aid arrived, the ice-cold body of the doctor had no heartbeat or breath. Ultimately, she was without oxygen for a total of 24 minutes. Amazingly, Dr. Neal was revived without any long-term damage to her brain or body. While she was unconscious, Dr. Neal claims that she arrived in a place full of structures where spirits roamed. Overjoyed to see her, these beings were focused on nurturing and protecting her. They informed her that she needed to return to her body because she had more work to do. This place was allegedly so comforting and magnificent that Dr. Neal protested returning back to the living. Finally, the beings gently guided her down the path to be reunited with her body. However, they delivered a message to her before she should go. The beings informed her that she would suffer the great tragedy of losing her eldest son. It was a piece of knowledge that Dr. Neal tried to shake off after she returned to her life. For a decade, she kept the secret to herself out of fear of upsetting her husband and children. However, she received a phone call 10 years after her spiritual experience in Chile, informing her that her son had been killed in a car accident caused by a distracted driver.
Oh, wow.
Neal claims she received the news of her son's death the day she finished her memoir.
That's messed up.
While Arkansas may be known as the natural state, an alleged...
I mean, maybe that was a good thing for them to tell her that, so it could kind of prepare her mentally and emotionally, because when certain things happen like that, nobody's ever prepared, and I feel like if she would have told anybody anyways, they wouldn't have believed her. And then on top of that, if she would have told somebody, they probably would have blamed her as if she's the one that caused it.
Supernatural happening has drawn a lot of attention. The situation became so serious that the Arkansas National Guard was asked to step in to confirm whether or not the soil in a small town called Midway was being used as Satan's playsand. As summer 2018 drew to a close, a flaming sulfur-emitting hole appeared in the ground near the town of Midway, Arkansas. The 2-foot hole was shooting flames reaching 9 feet high at times. Residents reported sulfur odors as they watched the ground burn up in a perfectly circular shape. Early theories ranged from a deadly gas leak to a portal to hell. Local officials took a more tempered approach by declaring the spontaneous fire circle as definitely man-made. The most plausible explanation was that a person had simply dumped some paint thinner that eventually caught on fire. However, some oddities were discovered when the Arkansas National Guard unit was brought in to use specialized equipment to test the soil inside the hellhole. What the unit concluded was the hole contained high amounts of sulfur dioxide that would not be found in the ground under normal conditions. They also found that the hole went down more than 3 feet before making a sharp 45-degree turn. The mystery behind why the flaming hole of Midway was created was never solved. However, local enforcement officials are adamant that the hole was man-made. The official conclusion is that the hole was part of a prank. However, no pranksters have ever come forward to take credit for bringing hell to Arkansas.
Hold on, man. So, they said turning at a 45-degree angle or some mess like that. Explain to me, how in the world was it man-made? If it was man-made, then they could take some dirt, dig up this hole until the point where there is no more angles and stuff like that, put fresh dirt down there, dig it up really good, and put fresh dirt there, if they haven't done it already. But anyways,
before we take a look at an eerie statue in Chicago, remember to hit that subscribe button, then tickle that little bell icon there and turn on all channel notifications. That way you'll be in the loop every time we drop our scary and mysterious videos. Also, an absolutely free way to support the channel is to smash that thumbs up button there. Chicago's Graceland Cemetery is home to one of the creepiest sculptures ever created. A bronze sculpture called Eternal Silence is an eerie work of art with a dark story behind it. Locals often refer to it simply as the Dexter Graves Statue of Death. In 1831, a man named Dexter Graves led 13 families on a voyage to settle Chicago. While Graves passed away in 1884, it would be 75 years before the statue that is forever associated with him would be created. In fact, Graceland Cemetery itself wasn't founded until 16 years after Graves passed away. So how did this settler come to be associated with Chicago's creepiest statue? Dexter had a son named Henry who left behind a sum of money totaling around $300,000 US to create a statue in honor of his father. When Henry died in 1907, instructions were left to create a monument in Washington Park in honor of a racehorse named Ike Cook that was beloved by his father. However, the horse-inspired monument was never actually built. Curiously, the funds were redirected to a statue built by Laredo Taft that featured an eerie hooded figure. The statue has haunted Chicago's Graceland Cemetery since 1909. Standing 10 feet tall, the bronze statue draws clear comparisons to the Grim Reaper. The statue has become something of a grotesque tourist attraction in recent years. According to folklore, anyone who looks into the eyes of the hooded bronze figure upon entering the Chicago cemetery will see a vision of their own death. There have even been reports that the statue's arms move throughout the day, often in such a subtle way that passers-by would never notice. At night time, witnesses say that eerie screams can be heard in the vicinity of the statue. Up until the 1970s, a pernicious rumour suggested that the statue wouldn't show up in photographs, adding to its mysterious lore. This theory has obviously been disproven, but it adds another layer of intrigue to the already eerie statue. So is this statue in Chicago's Graceland Cemetery really haunted, or is it just a case of an intricate layering of urban legend? One way to find out for sure is to stare deep into the black veil of the statue and wait for a vision of your own demise. If you want to see some more eerie historical events, then check out
well,
that link
ladies
on the top
and
there.
gents, you have been slapped by a slapped hand. Lord knows I have. Because I'm completely confused by about every single video I just watched, especially the last one. But for them to say that you will excuse me, have a vision of your own death if you look into the eyes of the statue, why would you get so close to the statue? Don't nobody want to look into his eyes. That's why I was over here like, are you done yet? You know what I'm saying? So anyways, if you liked the video, please like, share, and subscribe. Until the next one, ladies and gents. Peace.